So we finally got our first good look at The Witcher 4 as CDPR just showcased the tech demo during the State of Unreal Fest in Orlando, and well, we've got a few things to talk about here. Mainly the graphics, because the purpose here wasn't really to showcase any gameplay systems or anything like that, but to show off just how much of a difference there will be in terms of graphics between The Witcher 4 and, say, The Witcher 3, and also showcase the power of Unreal Engine 5. Now, I'm gonna speak from the heart here and say that this looks really, really good. Like, this is a step up or a notch above The Witcher 3 for sure. The Witcher 3 still looks good to this day, especially with the remastered edition, but man, they really are cranking up the graphics for The Witcher 4 here, and I'm all for it. I mean, they show the inner workings of musculature in the game. For example, we can see how Ciri's own horse, Kelpie, moves in tandem with Ciri as she gets on the horse. Like, the movements and the animations are supposedly very reactive, and obviously this is a tech demo, of course, so they're for sure gonna make sure to speak as positively as they can about the game itself. And I think that's very important to keep in mind, that this is still just a technical showcase, but from what we see here, it's damn impressive. I mean, this type of system affects Ciri as well. So for example, her clothes, her muscles, everything about her will react depending on how she moves and how she interacts with other objects, and I find that really, really cool. Later in the showcase, they also show how Ciri accidentally walks into a man who's carrying fruit, and while the fruit is rolling downhill, we see a kid running up to grab some of the fruit from the ground, as well as pigs getting out of their sties to go eat the fruit. I mean, if the game is actually that reactive, then that will be huge just in terms of immersion. Hopefully it's not one of those systems that they have to cut because of budgetary reasons, or because, you know, it takes too much power or too much resources, but apparently from the narration as they speak about the showcase when they're showing it, these systems apparently don't use too much power to run the game in tandem with stuff like graphics, for example, because apparently the game is ran on 60 FPS here on a PS5, on a standard PS5. I find that also very impressive. And of course, you know, we got to talk about the environment, because obviously the nature here that we see in Kovir, which will be the area or the region that we'll be exploring and playing in as Ciri, I mean, it looks really, really good. And of course, it uses Unreal Engine 5's nanite system for basically all of the vegetation here, so it looks realistic as all hell. It's also very reactive to winds, to movement, to, you know, reactivity from characters walking into bushes and stuff like that. So again, this is like really realistic stuff. I also love that we can actually see the in-game version of Ciri and what she looks like and how she moves. And again, it's really, really damn impressive. I love how she looks. That said, the only thing that made me, well, hesitate a little bit was when I heard her voice, because as we all know by this point, the adult Ciri we're going to play as here does not have the same voice actress as in The Witcher 3.
Is it noticeable? Hard in the eyes?
A bit. But you can't let it bother you. You know, folk would stare at the scar on my cheek, always. It used to upset me greatly.
And?
I started undoing one shirt button more. Problem solved.
A typical day's toil.
Who in? Ah, Witcheress. What news of my wagons?
Now. Kavir's smuggling trade is of no concern to me.
Shush, shush, shush.
The manticore that flattened your cart and devoured your men? Quite the opposite.
Now, I'm willing to give her a chance here because, I mean, obviously she's older, so it's not that surprising that her voice would deepen or change a little bit, so I don't really have too much of a problem in it. But it just, I guess, threw me back a little bit hearing her voice. So it's definitely going to take some time getting used to her other voice actor here. Other than that, I think the animations for her face and when she's talking and when she's reacting, and how the camera pans over from the over-the-shoulder perspective over to this cinematic shot that we see here, I find that also really cool and really impressive. They also showcase just how many individuals or how many NPCs can be on screen at one time while there's like a party going on and everything. So there's a lot of reactivity, like a lot of intelligence in the world that goes on behind the scenes, and it seems like it's not too much for the game to handle or for any system to handle, especially like a PlayStation 5. That's pretty impressive. Now, I don't want to go on too long with this video because that is pretty much all we learned here. Well, we learned that Ciri is chasing after another monster here, and she's been hired by this merchant dude, and she's trying to find a carriage that was, well, that has disappeared. And well, she's taken up the mantle as the main monster hunter for this game. And I'm very much looking forward to what secrets and what monsters and other encounters that Kovir is going to present us with. Again, Kovir is one of those regions that a lot of Witcher fans have been wanting to see for a while, and it's really cool to see that it's finally confirmed that it's going to be in Kovir. But yeah, overall, I would say that I'm pretty impressed, but I will say that I'm also kind of a little bit on the fence here because, again, this is the tech demo. I wouldn't hold them to everything that they show here because, as we know previously, CDPR has showcased their games before, and, well, we know how that turned out. Albeit they have redeemed themselves somewhat. But overall, I would say that this looks really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing more whenever they're ready to show more of The Witcher 4. Specifically gameplay, because I'm very, very curious about how the game is actually going to play. How is the combat going to be like? What are the role-playing aspects going to be of the game? How much role-playing is there? How many dialogue options will there be? Stuff like that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this presentation in the comments below, and as always, have a great day. Mr. Alton signing off.